please. Okay, it's recording now. And yes, are you ready, Adelaide? I will hand over.
I am.
You.
I am ready. Thank you.
So much for agreeing to be the first.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to be here. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for attending the session. And I'm a little bit nervous, but anyway, with you guys' support, and I'll be able to get this done to the most successful way. My name is Adelaide. I'm originally from Angola, but I've been in this country since the age of 8. I am now 37 years of age, and yeah, Angola is basically in the west coast of Africa. West coast. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I've just admitted Chanel to the. Oh, she's muted herself. Yeah, if you're coming in, just remember to mute yourself. Yeah.
All right. So Angola is on the west coast of Southern Africa, and this is one of the largest. It's the 7th largest country in Africa. So Angola is of a Portuguese colony in which the main language spoken in Angola is Portuguese. So a lot of our influences actually come from Portugal, but we still tend to cook our own cultural, traditional dishes back home. So a lot of our food is actually has a lot of palm oil in it, in which we cook a lot of stews. Stews are really popular back home, and a lot of stews, and we eat it with a side dish called funge. Funge is basically made from cassava, like dried cassava flour, which you boil with hot water, which forms sort of like a porridge that you eat with your stews. So one of our favorites back home would be kalulu, which we call kalulu. Kalulu is basically, you can cook, it's kind of like a dry fish or a fresh fish, which you cook with spinach, palm oil, okra, and you serve that with funge. So most of our dishes, you will eat them with funge, which I already explained. And we'll also have another popular dish, which is called mufeti. Mofeti is grilled fish, which you eat with beans, which are cooked in palm oil. And then you have that a side dish with that, which will be your boiled plantain, boiled okra, sorry, not boiled okra, boiled cassava, and boiled sweet potatoes. So these are some of our popular dishes back home. And the soup I'm actually making today is also very, very popular back home. In terms of the research, like the background information, there isn't much history about it, but speaking from the elders back home, most of our dishes actually came from experiments from our ancestors in terms of what they can actually, what they had within their reach, or what they can afford, or what they actually grew within their own farms. So many of our dishes came from our ancestors actually just experimenting with, with what actually they could grow, basically, or what they could afford. So, and including the dish that I'm actually making today. So I'm going to start with showing you the ingredients that I have right here to make this amazing soup, which I love very much. So I'm just going to turn the camera towards the ingredients right now. Just give me 1 second, please. So we have here our beans here, which I've boiled already. We just have the excess water that's on top of it, but underneath we have the beans that I cook. These are the risotto beans, which I cooked for a very long time. So the softer they are, the better it is when it comes to actually making the soup. So this is the brown beans that I've used, so which is the risotto beans. It's actually on the website, and if you guys want to know more in terms of the types of beans. So here we have cabbage here. You can use any sorts of cabbage that you like. This is just one of my favorites. So, but any other cabbage will do. I have here some tomatoes here already chopped up. We have here some I'm pointing out, you see. Yeah, this is the onions right there. We have a handful of pasta here. You can also use rice if you prefer, or both if you prefer. And here we have olive oil, and this is just potatoes, ordinary potatoes, and carrots, which I just left it in the hot water, in the cold water, so that it doesn't become dry, which I will drain out in a minute. And here we have our herbs. We have thyme. Thyme, we don't actually have thyme back home, but I tend to use thyme a lot here because I really like thyme. But one herb that we do have is bay leaves back home. So this is what you find if you go back home and you have this soup, you'd have it with bay leaves, this herb, bay leaves. So I have black pepper here as well, and I have some stock cube, a vegetable stock cube, and I have here sea salt, and I have the garlic right there. So I'm just gonna start by showing you how to actually mash these beans so that I can drain out the water so that we just have the stock and not the actual shells of the beans. So I'm gonna start off by just showing you how I usually do this. I mean, there's other methods, but this is just a traditional way of how we actually make it back home. So I have here a masher. So I'm just gonna literally just mash the beans. So like I said, the softer they are, the easier it is for you to actually go through this process in terms of mashing it. So I'm just mashing the beans to make the stock a bit thicker. So this is just what we normally do. Some people actually use a blender, but I don't know, I find this method better. So I'm just literally just mashing these beans. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put this sauce into the sieve so I can separate the beans from the actual sauce or the bean stock. Can you guys see it properly?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So I'm just
Catherine has just asked, shall we join along with the cooking now if you've got the ingredients? Yes, that's
oh yes, please.
I'm not joining because I want to concentrate on the hosting. Yes, and Helen has said it looks fun for children to do the mashing. What do you think?
Oh, okay, that's exciting.
Is that something you'd get your children to do, Adelaide?
Yes, but my children don't really like cooking. They come and look and then they just run away. I'll be like, come and help me. They don't like getting their hands messy, and so they don't really like it. They'll just come like, oh, but whilst the food is ready, they're ready to eat. But in terms of like helping, I struggle to actually get them in the kitchen because they just hate getting their hands dirty. It's like, oh, mommy, that's disgusting. What are you doing?
Instead, I've got some tinned beans. Shall I put them in a bowl and mash them?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Catherine.
Cool.
You can do that, and just add a little bit of water because otherwise it'll be too dry. In terms of when you're mashing it, I think it's easier when you got a bit of liquid with it. Thanks. So just add some water to it as well. So is any of the kids there? Anyone's got children there who will want to help with the mashing?
Send them over to Adelaide.
Oh, dear.
So I was saying you can use when I was looking into it, when we were talking about it, oh sorry, I said that I hadn't heard of how do you say it?
Rosecoco. I mean, there's loads of types. This is my favorite one because I think this is the thickest. This is getting the most thickest stock out of it. You can use any brown beans basically, but this is just my favorite. Yeah.
So
this is just the favorite one. It just gives a richer flavor to the soup. That's all.
And
that's just my favorite.
I think it's to say they're also called borlotti beans.
Borlotti beans, yes. I think that's it. Yeah, it's the same ones. Yeah, I think they've got different names.
You could use kidney beans or black beans or something.
I don't know about black beans because this is the color we want to get when we get the soup. This is the color. So I think the black beans would be too dark, and then the kidney beans have to be kind of closer to red. But this is the one that we like. This is the color we achieve. We're kind of like wanting to achieve when we actually complete the cooking. Yeah, that's the only reason why. I mean, if you guys want to experiment with black beans, you know, maybe I could try it one day as well. It might actually taste nice with black beans. Yeah, or kidney beans. Yes.
It's kind of.
Hi, Diana. Are you joining in, Diana? I just saw you in the kitchen there.
Oh, I muted her because we.
Oh, you muted Diana.
Noise. Okay. I will unmute. I'll unmute. I will. I think. Can you unmute yourself? Sorry.
Okay, let me see.
Diana. Hi, Diana. Diana's one of our parent reps and food ambassadors. So, Diana.
I'm joining in. I've got mine here.
Oh, that's great, Diana. Thank you so much. Great.
I haven't got a masher, so I've got a ladle.
Oh, that's absolutely anything we'll do because back home we don't even have mashers. Sometimes we just.
Okay, 1 second, there's someone at my door.
Oh, okay. So back home, literally, if you have a bottle, anything that can help you mash, you'll mash it. Just before, you know, if you can't actually afford to get a masher. So anything you do, if you can use your hands if you want as well. Just put on some gloves, put on hand. just use your hands. You can actually mash it with your hands as well if you find that easy for you. So this is just what I have in house.
What about, I'm a bit of a lazy chef, so what about using a hand blender?
I've never actually tried that because what we're trying to separate the shell from the beans. I think with the hand blender you get the complete thickness of it, including I think with the hand blender it just mashes everything. That's just the reason why I use this. I don't know, maybe one day I could try that too, but my auntie actually blended it all once and I didn't really like the texture of it. For me, I just felt like it was too thick, so this is why I just do it this method. I just prefer it this way. So are we ready to actually separate the stock now and put it into a sieve? So I've got a sieve here, if you guys can see, just turn the lights on. So I've got a sieve, I've got a pan underneath which I'm going to use to do the soup. This is my sieve right here. So is everyone ready for this part of the
everyone,
okay,
unmute yourself if you have any questions before Adelaide goes on to the next stage.
Okay, I'm literally going to pour this on top like that.
Adelaide, is this across a dish that is eaten across Angola, or is it any particular region?
It's eaten everywhere in Angola, basically. Yes.
Okay.
So as you can see, we can't actually sieve anymore. So I'm going to add some water. You see, there's still a lot of stock on top and there's not much liquid underneath. So I'm just going to add some more water to that. And I think I may, because it's so thick, I may have to press it down as well with a spoon.
I've mashed the tinned beans, so I might have to add some water to them because there's
absolutely. Because it's just a quantity. What quantity you're aiming? If you're cooking for yourself, literally, you just measure the amount that you need. But I'm cooking for like 3 boys here, so I'm gonna have to fill up this. I'll be filling up my pot because the kids love this soup so much. So yeah, you can put as much water that you wish according to how many people you're actually feeding. So it should be fine. Yeah, it should be fine with you guys. So I'm just mashing it some more on top of the sieve.
Is this one of the dishes that almost like tastes after?
A starter, yes. You can actually have it as a starter, but it's quite thick. It's really thick. So if you're making,
does it taste better the day after?
Oh, sorry.
The day after.
The day after. It does, yeah. The longer you leave it in the fridge, the better. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it gets even more richer when you're eating it. Yeah, when you.
Did I put the beans in the pan now, or leave them in the bowl?
You put it just on the sieve here. Have you finished? Can I just see what you've done?
Yeah.
So I'm still draining mine. Do you want to add some more water there, Catherine?
Yeah, thanks.
Water. Yeah, just fill it up with water. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just continuously just mashing them to get as much stock as possible. This is just like the most tricky part, but after that you just literally just throw all the vegetables in there and that's it, you're done. You just let it cook. This is just a bit, oops. Okay. Have you added yours to the sieve, Catherine?
From groups like Captain Air Action.
No, do I need to put it in the sieve and then put the liquid in the pan?
Put as much, what we're going to, put water in the bowl first, mix it around, and then put it onto the sieve. Yeah, so you're draining out all the stock from the, from the
bowl. So you don't want like the bean skin?
No, we don't want the beans in the pan, no. That's not how we make it,
I understand.
Polly maybe as well, if you've got
background noise. Hang on. Oh, Sue. Yeah, need to mute you. Sorry.
So I'm just gonna add some more water. So as you can see, this is how much soup that I have so far. So I'm still draining, so I'm gonna add some more water. I'm trying to fill it almost to the top, and then that's it. I just have to add the vegetables in.
Emily's saying, should we have our veggies pre-chopped, or will we come to that?
Oh yes, please, because I've chopped mine. So if you're finished with the draining and you have some spare time, yes, it'll be nice. You can actually literally start, because I've chopped all mine. All I'm going to do literally just put it all in a pot.
So it's kind of chunky, isn't it, what you've done?
Yes, it's chunky because this is just how I prefer it. Because they're all gonna be mashed up. Once it gets in the pot and it's cooked over, you hardly even see the tomatoes or the onions. But what you might still see is the carrots and the potatoes and the cabbage. So it's up to you. There isn't a particular style of cutting or whatever you prefer. If you prefer your vegetables thinner and then cut them thinner, this is just how I do mine. Just saves time.
Yeah.
Saves time having to chop it. Takes a long time to be cutting and chopping. Yeah, that's just my preference. But if you guys prefer it much smaller, it's absolutely fine. Okay. So just gonna add more water. Is everybody okay?
We're all good, yes.
Yeah,
So
the participants. Yes.
Is the water just cold water or like boiled water?
It could be warm water, cold water, anything will do. It's absolutely whatever you have right next to you right now is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, and you'll
So
now if you've got any other questions.
So there we are. We have our stock ready. So this is how much I have in my pot. I mean, if you have less or more, it's absolutely fine. It's how much you want to, how much soup you want to have, basically. I can have this for like 2 days. I'll leave it in the fridge and then I just have to warm it up and it just tastes so nice the next day. Oh, that's fine. Dan, is that a question? Yes. Spaghetti is fine too. You can actually use spaghetti as well instead of pasta. Whatever you have, really. If you have rice, put rice. If you have pasta, it's fine. You can have both. So yeah, this is quite a rich soup. So once you have that, you're literally so filled up that you don't want to eat anything else. But some people can still have it as a start and then have the main meal. So is everybody ready to actually include the vegetables now or not?
Yeah. What do you do with the rest of the beans that you just?
Okay. The rest of the beans we just throw away because it's just the skin left out of the beans now. We just have the shells. Let me just show you. Yeah, we just have the shells left over.
Yeah, I remember we were talking about it. I was wondering, it looks like there might be, because you know, healthy living platform, we're always like, oh, well, for those of you who have met me, I'm kind of like the don't throw anything out person. Like, don't throw anything out when Zoe's around. But so I was wondering whether I could see you might not want all the shells, but whether you could maybe try blending it as a dip or something. I don't know, whatever. Just throwing it out there.
I could try something. I could try something new and then absolutely. I'll keep on the side and see what I can do. Something spicy with it. But maybe not for this program. But I have to experiment because I might not even like what I'll do. But it's actually a thought. It's actually a thought. So I'm gonna leave it to the side. Probably season it. I'll see what I can come up with. What would
happen then if you just didn't do all that sieving it out and just chucked the thing of tin of beans in, for example, or the beans in?
Nothing really, but it's just like, when you're just taught a certain way. This is just how we do it, and we don't want to taste. We don't taste the shells of the beans at all the beans when you're having the soup. So this is just the way we've been taught to do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, nothing major will happen because you still taste the beans anyway. But I guess like you said, if you don't want to waste stuff, we can literally just blend it.
Yeah.
Blend the whole lot, and put it in. Perhaps I should start making it that way. That way I'm not wasting on the shells.
I'm just curious.
Yeah. So perhaps I'll start blending it and just put a lot of water, more water, because obviously I don't want it so thick. It's still. I think with the shells it gets really, really, really thick. Yeah, that's the only reason. But it's just
vegetables. Could I just ask? Do you want just small pieces, like cubes of potato, like you like small pieces of onion and stuff?
So this is the size that I have, but if you prefer cutting them smaller, it's absolutely fine, Catherine. This is the size that I have with my potatoes. That's actually a big chunk there. And I've got, this size carrots. So it's up to you.
I'm just going to chop them now, so I'm a bit not ready, but I'll follow on as you go, don't worry. No, it's fine, it's fine. You go ahead and I'll carry on, chopping. Fine.
So I'm going to be putting in my vegetables now into this. Literally everything is just going in now, and then everything just boils in one go, and then you're done with the cooking. So I'm going to start.
Sorry, one more question. Do you fry the onion and garlic first, or do you just put it in raw?
If you want to, but there is, like I said, there isn't a specific method. Either way, it still tastes the same. Yeah. Cool. I was taught just by throwing everything inside, so this is it, and it still tastes very, very nice.
And much easier that way.
Yeah, it's much easier and it's quicker. Less time in the kitchen. You just throw everything and just go and sit down and relax for a bit, and then come back and then just check. Yeah, keep checking it that it hasn't burnt or overdone. So I'm going to start by putting the cabbage inside the pot. I might have to put handful at a time. So we have our cabbage, it's just going inside. I like cabbage a lot, so I tend to use a lot of cabbage. There you go.
And would you generally put the gas, like have it on the heat while you're doing that?
Generally I would, if I wasn't filming recording at the same time. So health and safety reasons, because I'm focusing on talking about what I'm doing. So I might have to forget that I'm actually on fire.
Yeah, of course.
This is the only reason why I'm doing it this way, because I know Zoe, you'll be on me right now. I'm like, why is the fire on? So I'm just doing the safest way ever. But just the only reason why, but naturally I would have just had the fire on. Yes.
Yeah, so if people are cooking it at home, they can put the gas on a low heat, would you say?
No. Oh, you start off by very high heat. Very high heat, and then you just start reducing it as the time is run. Yeah. So that's my cabbage in there. I'm going to add my tomatoes.
If anyone else is cooking at the same time, please share your camera, your video.
Yes, please. I want to see what everyone's doing actually. Yes. So I put my cabbage, I put my tomatoes in there. Just gonna put the carrots and the potatoes.
I love that idea of just chucking everything in at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. Who's got time to spend so much time in the kitchen? You just throw everything in there. And it just still tastes the same. You can either just kind of like fry the onions separately and tomatoes. That's if you've got plenty of time. But for me, I think it still tastes the same. And I just prefer doing it this way. Throw everything in there. And then we have, we're going to add the onions.
So just to say, we will put the recipe, post the full recipe and instructions up on the our website. So don't worry if you haven't, about taking notes.
And then we are going to add our olive oil here. I have our olive oil. And then we have our thyme. This is just my own adaptation, but if we go back home, we don't actually literally have this herb. So, and then we have, I love thyme, it just smells so nice. I literally want to put it everywhere. I love thyme so much.
So what herbs do you have in Angola then that they would
This use? Is literally, you see it, yeah. The bay leaves is the herb that we use back home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Helen's asked about olive oil. Is that something you have in Angola?
Yes, we have olive oil back home, yes.
You would use that, yeah.
Yeah, you would use olive oil back home, yes. And then, what else? Okay, and now I'm just gonna chuck in all the spices, the black pepper, and I've got the garlic there, and the sea salt on the side. I don't know if you can see, because it's white as well. So I'm just gonna put it all in the pan. And then we're just literally gonna turn the fire on and just give it a little mix. Just gonna mix it a bit. Catherine, is everything okay? And Diana with the prep.
Nick has asked, what's the stock cube? Like, do you mean like which brand, or Nick, or?
Oh, someone asked about the stock cube. Yeah. It could be any type that you like. This is just a vegetable one. This is the Knorr vegetable that I'm using. It's called Knorr. Yes. Yeah.
Because I was wondering if it will conflict with the stock that you've just made.
Oh, it's vegetable. It's a vegetable one.
Makes sense.
So yes, I use a vegetable one. Yeah.
Cheers.
I can actually see you. I can hear you talking about it. I can't actually see your video. You didn't want to show your video yourself cooking. Just
me?
checking. Yes, I can't see you. Yes.
Oh no, I showed myself earlier on. I just thought it's better, better for the whole city of us have our video off. Otherwise, it
fine.
keeps freezing and stuff.
All right, that's fine. So everything is in the pan. I'm just gonna let it start cooking, start boiling now. So the pasta is gonna be way towards like the end of the cooking, because otherwise it gets very, very soft, and I still like a bite to it when I actually haven't eaten it. So this is gonna be the last bit I will add. So I'm just gonna turn the cooker on now.
And Chanel has asked, where did you buy the thyme from?
Oh, I got it from Sainsbury's. It's just my local store. I'm so close. I just have to cross the road. So
they sell it in bigger packets and stuff in like some of those shops around Brixton Market.
Yes, they do.
Yeah,
they do. Literally, you can get it. Yeah, in most markets you can actually get thyme anyway. You can have dry thyme, the dry one, but this is the fresh one. So yeah, so it's up to you. If you want to put the dry one that you have at home, is absolutely fine as well. So I've put it on very high heat. I don't think you can see, but yeah, that's the highest one there. And I'm just gonna leave it now, and then we're done with this, and just gonna let it cook. So what I actually have here, one I made last night to show you guys what it should look like.
Wow, super organized.
That's fine. So this is what the soup actually looks like when we're finished. So let me just mix it about. So this is what it actually looks like once it's all complete. So it's got a really nice flavor and it's quite rich. So like I said, if you can actually be full with just having this soup because it's just so thick. Yeah, with the pasta, we've got the carrots and potatoes in there. So yeah, this is what the finished product will look like.
Oh, nice. So it gets quite nice and thick from the
it is
from the
beans. From the beans, yeah.
Mandy says it looks delicious. Laura says that.
Oh, you're gonna love it if you make it, and it smells so nice all the time. Oh, it smells so delicious.
Helen
you're really gonna love it.
Hungry.
Well, I'm making so you can come and collect some because I'll have plenty. I have some for last night and I'm making some more today, so this I'm gonna have to freeze some of this.
Careful what you order, banging down your door.
Helen, if you want, you can come and collect some soup.
Where?
Mariam says looks yummy.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I live in Vauxhall.
Careful, don't disclose anything to. So don't disclose the full details, or you will have like a queue of people
at my door.
You can sell it.
You can have it delivered.
Yeah. How much?
That would be a thought.
How much are you selling it for?
This one I could sell. This one could go for £5. This one.
Wow.
Yeah. It's very healthy soup. Very, very healthy. Very delicious. It's very, very nice, and it smells delicious.
Yeah. Do delivery.
Yes, I'll do that. We can plan that actually.
And discounts for LEAP.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? Absolutely.
Well done, girl.
So
yes.
So I'm just still chopping everything up and chucking it in as I chop
That's
it.
fine. That's fine. That's fine, cool. Catherine. So this is our soup. Yeah, it hasn't started boiling yet.
So have you got time to kind of for us to open up the discussion, or any questions for you, or are there still steps you need to do?
No, that's it. Literally that's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna leave it now for at least an hour and a half. So once it starts boiling, after about 20 minutes on a high heat, then you can actually reduce it to medium heat. So I'm just gonna leave it alone now.
I want to eat it at 1 o'clock. This is my lunch.
So it looks like you'd be having, looks like you're having a late lunch today, Catherine. Waiting for the soup to get ready.
Does anyone else want to share their creations? Diane? Nick says asks how Catherine and Diane's are coming along. Oh, let's see, Diane. Oh, I think Can't. I think if you unmute yourself, Diane, because I think then it will pin your video, maybe.
You see it?
Yeah, I think so.
Can I see it one more time? Okay, it's disappeared again.
Oh, have you got pumpkin in there?
Yes, it's just what the kids will eat. I don't want to waste it. So I've got, it's not pumpkin, I've got sweet potato.
Oh, that's fine, that's fine.
Yeah, so inside the soup, they will only eat the sweet potato. So I've got the sweet potato in there.
Okay.
And then the cabbage in there. And then the onions and then garlic.
Nice. Nice. So did you boil your beans last night as well, or did you had just a canned one? Oh, okay, because I didn't see which beans you use. No, that's absolutely fine. Anything out of your convenience, whatever will make your life easier, that's it. Go for it.
That's the one I used.
So I guess soup is good, isn't it? Because you can sort of switch around really whatever veg you have, like what.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
I have to just make
one day I probably will try it with the sweet potato. I think it would be very nice.
Yeah. So my history of soup from my childhood is my mum would always call it bean soup because it had been something else. So it was always would make soup from like leftovers of, whatever we had the day before. Do you want to tell us a bit? You were saying. Did you say you learnt this from your aunt? Is that right?
Yes, I learned this from my aunt. I came at the age of 8, like I said, and traditionally in my culture, it's very important for a woman to learn how to cook. So it was drilled into us that we have to learn to cook. It's very important. So from very early age, like my auntie would just encourage us to stay in the kitchen while she was cooking, just to watch what she was doing. This is just one of the ways of learning, really, just watching. And eventually she'll ask you, oh, can you peel the potato for me? Or can you peel the garlic or cut the onions? So this is how the basic culinary skills that I learned from her. And then eventually she'll be like, oh, okay, Adelaide, you're the one that's making the soup. And you'll be like, I haven't done that before. But she'll sit and watch you do it and just instruct you on how things were done. So yes, it was thanks to her. And I love this soup very much. Yeah. So,
how does this one, can you remember how it compares to your aunt's soup?
Obviously she's the best. My auntie's the best. I always feel that her food tastes nicer than mine anyway. So her one is very, very nice. Yeah, it tastes so good. Yeah, every time I go there, I just want to have the soup. So it's different. I feel like it's difficult, maybe because when you cooking your own stuff, I don't know, I don't feel the same as actually eating from someone else's. Yeah, so eating my auntie's soup, for me, it tastes a bit different than mine. Because when you've been in the kitchen and you're smelling everything, I don't know, you don't have the same appetite as actually going to someone's house and sitting there, someone's actually made something. It's a completely different experience. Okay. So, yeah.
How old were you when you first started it, when you tried it?
I'd say I would be about 10, 11, yeah. So we were very early in the kitchen. In my culture, is completely normal for a child from like 7, to supporting the mums in the kitchen. So it's just how we grew up. Yes.
Have you cooked this for, I don't know when the last time you went back to Angola was, but have you cooked this back in Angola? And what have people thought?
When I got back home, I'm actually pampered because when I'm on holiday, I'm literally on holiday. I don't want to do anything because I cook every day here. So when I'm on holiday, I'm literally on holiday. But when I do try the food there, yeah, it tastes delicious because everything's organic back home. So it's completely different. But I've never actually cooked it back home now. Yeah, I just want to relax and enjoy the sun when I'm there. Yes, that's about it. Just visit family members most of the times. Yeah, and every family member wants to cook for you when you go back home. Cooking is just such a big part. It's a way of welcoming someone. If you haven't cooked and there's an issue with that person, that maybe they don't like you, but everywhere you go, yes, it's just a tradition. You must welcome someone with a meal. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
No, go ahead. Oh, I was going to say, I just noticed that Issa and I are the only 2 males here, which, we're holding the fort. But I don't know if it's Issa or Shim.
Oh, you're breaking up a bit.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yes, hello? Yes, we can hear you now, yeah.
So Adelaide, is it normally just with vegetables?
Oh, I forgot to mention. Back home we actually have it with meat. Africa, you know, Africa, they love their meat. Right? So back home you'd have that with meat, and then you have a little bit of chorizo, not for flavor. But I made this yesterday with that non-meat, and it tastes just the same, literally. And I'm like, I wasn't even missing anything. I could have just, all these years I've been cooking it with a little bit of chorizo inside, you know, and a little bit of meat. But yeah, back home, it has to have meat inside it. Yeah, this is how traditionally it's just always been made. Yeah. But I guess now we're changing our eating habits, isn't it? So
Yeah.
to live a more healthier lifestyle. So I think I'll be making this vegetable version more often now. Yeah. How's yours coming along?
Oh, you know what? It looks so good. I think I'm really going to trick them to drink. The thing with soup is, we haven't been eating meat for a long time, but whenever I make soup, the only soup that they would drink is prawn soup.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. And they just like the sweet things in there, like pumpkin and sweet potatoes.
That's why they like the sweet potatoes. Mm.
Yes. So today I'm tricking them. Yeah. So definitely, I know Jayla definitely is gonna drink it, because anything that's got pumpkin and sweet potatoes in there, she's gonna drink it.
She's gonna like it. Well, that's good. That's a good way, you know.
I like it. It reminds me of Jamaican soup.
Because Jamaica, I think they make the bean soup, the kidney bean soup as well, don't they? I heard, but I've never actually tried it. Yeah, I heard it. Do they make it the same way? Do they separate the beans as well?
No, they leave it in there. The beans.
Oh, they leave the beans in there. Okay, okay, yeah. Well, I want to take the beans out. You just have the stock. You just have the stock. Yeah.
So with the Jamaican soup, Diane, would that have kind of similar ingredients, like in terms of time and that, like the flavoring? Or?
Oh, I'm not claiming it, Zoe, because I'm not Jamaican, but I always do adaptations of it, and I leave everything in there. Yes.
Sorry. Well, I just thought.
I don't want to start any wars.
I'm not. Well, I think this was part of the conversation, wasn't it, when we were planning the month? It's like Nick about saying like food doesn't have any borders, and like, you know, people are all so careful about claiming the food as their own culture. Yeah. Anyone got any more questions about for Adelaide about Angolan?
Just a practical question.
Someone's asked me a question. I think it was Helen. If my children have been to Angola.
Do you put the pasta in near the end? Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, pasta will be the last thing. Kind of like an hour later. Okay, you add the pasta. Yes, the pasta is literally the last ingredient, and you're almost there. You're like, you're getting excited. It's almost getting ready. Because once the soup is cooked for such a long time, it'll be so hot. Within like 10 minutes, the pasta will cook, or less than that. So otherwise, if you leave it on throughout, it will be very, very soft, and it literally will not taste the same. Yeah, because you still want it to be a whole. Because otherwise, maybe it just becomes too soft. So.
Right. So Issa says, I don't know if you want to unmute yourself. Hi, Issa, and tell us about learning how to make Jamaican soup from your mum, he says. Do you want to unmute? I'll ask you. Anyway, this is what Issa says, maybe. Or Mandy says, Mandy says she learned how to make a bean stew in Uganda, where you can drain the beans to make the base of the stew, but then add them back in whole. Do you want to talk about that, Mandy, at all?
I can't remember a great detail other than there, but yeah, so you cook the beans and then you drain the cooking water, keep it aside, and then I think you like fry up onion and garlic and things to make a base, and then add the cooking liquid, and then add the whole beans back in. It's kind of like a soup, thicker. It was really good. I can't remember like small ready brown beans, but I don't remember what
the name of the beans. Okay, that sounds interesting. And did you have it with just vegetables, or did they add some meat into it as well?
Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I just had beans, but it was like greens and a peanut sauce as well on the side, so it was pretty good.
Okay.
And matoke. Do you know what matoke is? It's a bit like plantain, like a bit like plantain. Okay. I don't know, like mashed up.
It's not the green. Oh, it's not the green version. No, I don't know what matoke is. No.
It is the green plantain.
Oh, so it's a green one, yeah? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so they had it mashed up. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We just call that green plantain back home, so that's right. Okay, they got a different name, so they call it matoke.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so they make it into like kind of like a mashed potato thing. Oh, okay.
Love it with that.
Sounds nice.
Adelaide, I never put any oil in. Did I miss something?
Oh yes, please add some oil, please, Catherine. Yes.
Just add it in now. Is that still okay?
Yes, you can. Yes, you still
late.
can. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
No.
cool.
It's never too late. It's never too late with this soup. Literally, you just
So
cook
how
it.
much?
Yeah.
About a
It
tablespoon?
hasn't started boiling yet. A tablespoon is fine. Yeah.
Oh,
Almost starting to boil. I should have added hot water to boil a bit quicker, but it's okay.
anyone
What we have at the moment.
Anyone got any more questions? Any other questions for Adelaide?
Adelaide, have your children visited Angola with you?
Oh, one moment, please. I think my battery. Hi, Helen. Yes, my children have. I literally go at least every 2 years. Yeah,
Okay.
I go every 2 years. I think it's just very important for them to understand, our culture, where the families come from. So I think it's to be, in tune with their own roots as well. So they don't be.
Oh, you're
Oh,
breaking
is
up.
this food they make in Brazil a lot as well? Because I think in Brazil it's I've heard of, I think this name like feijoada in Brazilian cookies. Is that right? Because they have also Portuguese influence and stuff.
I think we've lost Adelaide.
We do make feijoada. Yeah, we do make feijoada as well. Yeah. And they use farofa as well. We use farofa back home when we're having certain meals as well.
Feijoada, is that a meat stew?
Mandy, did you
You've got beans, you've got meat, you've got vegetables. Yes.
What's that, Zoe?
I thought you made something like that last week in the kitchen.
Oh, I didn't in the end. That was one of my ideas, but in the end we made a Cuban dish instead. But I was looking at a vegetarian feijoada to do, so maybe we'll do that later in the month.
Yeah. So in our kitchen, our healthy living kitchen, where we're cooking meals to send out to the community, we're focusing on food just from Black cultures throughout October, which is quite fun. A good way for us to educate ourselves more as well, like us chefs. So if anyone has any any requests or ideas, I think we're going to cook some Ethiopian food tomorrow. Anyone got any other questions? Oh, someone, Emily has asked a question. Do you want to unmute yourself, Emily, or would you prefer me to ask it?
I can do. Sorry, I was eyes are streaming a bit with these onions. Hi, Adelaide.
I got disconnected. I don't know if you guys noticed. My screen just went blank. I've literally just come back. Sorry, I don't know if I missed anything. Yes.
That's okay. I was just saying that I really like how you kind of merged the two cultures by adding thyme to your soup. And I was just kind of interested in what other ways you like to adapt Angolan or British recipes to kind of join those two cultures.
It's literally just by using different herbs, in my foods. It's the way that I'm learning to adapt to different cooking styles. But in terms of our meals, because our meals have a lot of palm oil, our traditional meals, the stews. So I can't actually find a way of actually adapting because it doesn't taste the same. That's the thing, because the palm oil is quite strong. So it gives it this kind of unique taste to a meal. So that's one way, perhaps one day I could try it with olive oil as well. But in terms of adaptation, it's just the herbs that I use, different herbs and spices that I have learned, throughout my years of cooking here and just learning about other cultures. Yeah. I'm just going to reduce this thing because I think it's going to overflow in a minute. Sorry, it looks like it's going to overflow. So it started boiling now. It's busy boiling now, so we're getting somewhere now. Catherine, has your one started boiling? I guess it has a long time because I think you got a smaller pot than mine.
Yeah, I think I put a bit less water in and then I boiled the kettle
Oh, okay.
to add a bit more.
Yeah, maybe
so,
your
yeah.
one will cook a bit quicker anyway, because the less of it there is, perhaps the quicker will cook anyway. So as soon as kind of like the potatoes have cooked and the carrots have cooked, yeah, it's literally, it will be time to start putting the pasta inside.
So Adelaide, it looks lovely, by the way. Would
Thank
you?
you.
It looks so nice. Would you
Thank
keep
you.
boiling it on quite a high heat then for the whole cooking time?
Not for the whole cooking time. Like I said, halfway through, for example, I think now we can start reducing it to medium because it was a really high heat. So once it starts bubbling up to the top, and just show what's happening here, and then it's time to kind of like reduce it. I'm trying to turn the camera around. Yeah, can you see it? So
Yeah.
it looks like it's time we can actually reduce the heat.
Okay.
Yeah, we can actually reduce it to medium because this is actually high now. So we're going to reduce it to medium.
And you'd leave the lid on the whole
And then
time?
towards the end, no, because it literally will go, like the bubbles will overflow. So I kind of like left a little bit of air coming through. Yeah, so that was the whole pot would just overflow. So the higher it's overflowing, that's kind of like the less heat you need. So just reduce it even more.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. There's something else I was meant to say, I forgot. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take it out. It's boiling still. Anyone else got any questions? I'm trying to charge my phone, so that's why I moved locations. I was on the other side. My battery is low. So I moved to a different side
Quick
of the
question.
room. Yes, please.
Adelaide, can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Quick question. Yeah, quick question. How spicy is it traditionally made? I mean, Nigerian food, for example, is very spicy, or tends to be very spicy. It's Angolan food sort of that way inclined?
Not spices in the food. We don't put spices in the food like a choice, but we always have it on the side. So if someone wants it, they can have it, but we don't actually put it in our food. Yeah, we don't put it inside when you're cooking it, but we always have spice on the side anyway, because people still tend to eat a lot of spice, but that's just someone's option, but we wouldn't put it in our meals at all. Yeah. So because a lot of African countries, yes, have a lot of spices. This could be a main meal. I mean, if you're putting meat, yes. So if you do put meat in it, it is quite heavy. So that will be a main meal. Yeah, it can be a main meal. So, but if, the less meat there is, the better. In terms of, you can have it as a starter. So, and the lighter the soup, it is, the better as well, having it as a starter. Because if it's very heavy, then it will be a very, very heavy soup, and it's, you know, you wouldn't even have appetite to eat anything else. You can have this as a main meal, because it's got potatoes inside, it's got pasta. Then you would have your meat, then you got your vegetable. Literally, you're set. Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Melissa, she's come along later. She says, how long does it take to cook? It's been about, you said about an hour. Is that? It's been about, I think she said it was about an hour and a half. I guess it could be less time if you chop your veg up smaller.
Yes, it can be less time. Can you see me? Oh, okay, let me just turn around to the soup.
So
I mean, for me, it's kind of like the quantity. It depends on the quantity, because I think if the pan is smaller, it is much quicker, and to cook. And obviously, if your vegetables are small as well. But my pot is quite big. This is how I cook. This is the quantity that I use. So it does take, for me, it does take an hour and a half for it to fully cook. Yeah.
It looks like there could be enough there to feed us all on the Zoom.
Like I said, it looks like I'll be delivering some soup. We have a meeting point where everyone just comes and collect the bowl of soup. Yeah, so it's bubbling away nicely now. Yeah.
Great. I think so. We've just got we're a couple of minutes. Last chance to ask Adelaide any questions. Or do you want to add anything, Adelaide? Is there anything you want to?
No, I think I've said it all really.
So I just want to say thank you so much. This has been brilliant. you know, it's quite a brave thing to start off these sessions as well. And this is our first of our, I know we did, Shamika and Issa did a one on YouTube, but this is our first Zoom format. So, and I think personally, I think it was worked really, really well. It's not, I think the Zoom is nice because you can be quite interactive, and you don't need so much fancy.
Yes.
It's nice to see what everyone else is cooking. The YouTube ones works very well as well because people can comment on it. But I think, yeah, this has worked out as a great format, and it's a really nice way to just start off our month of celebrating Black history and learning more about, you know, Angolan food and your culture. So yeah, does anyone else want to add anything?
Just want to thank Adelaide as well for sharing that recipe with us. I'm really looking forward to trying it now. I think mine doesn't look quite as good as yours because I didn't get the same colour beans, but I think it'll be tasty, and thank you.
I'm sure it tastes fine, Catherine.
Very well explained, very clear.
Yeah, really well. Yeah. So we will put the recipe up as well on our website in the next couple of days.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for attending. Yeah, it was great. I was really excited to talk, to talk a little bit about my culture. So yeah, it's been a great pleasure.
Can we see it one last time? Can we see it one last time? I want to take a picture of it.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
the soup? Oh.
Yeah.
The one in the bowl or the one that's cooking? You want this one or the one that's in the bowl? Oh, okay.
I was going to ask Adelaide for a photo actually, but she was very organised and sent me one before. So,
so this is the one in the bowl.
Maybe we need the.
Hold on, Adelaide.
I thought you were. It sounded like you were eating the soup there.
Well, it's the effects. I'm trying to contain the effects of looking at the soup.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Have you got your picture? Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Anyway, so it was great fun for me.
Yeah. Helen has reminded us that we will be putting it afterwards on YouTube. So,
okay.
We'll put the video on there, providing I've managed to record it okay.
Thank you so much.
Great. Okay, well, thank you everyone. Thanks everyone for joining, and thank you Adelaide. I'm looking forward to cooking it as well. Great. So yeah, see you all.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Just leave comments. Catherine, leave comments on how you want it turned out. Catherine and Diana, you were cooking it, so just leave comments on how you want turned out once it's finished. It'll be very nice to hear. Yeah. Well done. And the kids, if the kids enjoyed it, Diana, let me know.
They have to. They got no choice. They eat it or they go to bed.
Thank you so much, guys.
So same time next week. We'll have another event, 12 o'clock Wednesday.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Well done, Adelaide. Is excellent.
Well done.
Cheers.
Well done, Adelaide.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.